Are you sick of those fly-by-night, fast-talking performance agencies that are all talk and no action? They're promising ROAS you could only dream of and delivering nightmares. Look, I might be being dramatic, but I think we've all had that experience. Introducing Add to Cart's performance advertising partner for 2024, Farsight. And that's Farsight with two I's, Farsiight. Farsight are in it for the long term with a genuine focus on relationships. I know, shocking, right? And as the saying goes, you are the company you keep. And Farsight work with some of the most genuine and high-growth businesses in Australia. I'm talking Trademark, Black Milk, Nobby. If you want a performance agency who actually care and can deliver on their promises, make sure you check out the Farsight team at Farsight, that's Farsight with two I's, Farsiight.com.
Welcome to The Checkout. We catch up with previous Add to Cart guests and ask them 5 quick questions to get to know them better and leave you with a little extra inspiration to get through your Friday. Here's your host, Bushy.
Today's checkout features George Hartley, co-founder of Bluethumb, Australia's online art marketplace. Representing over 20,000 emerging and established artists from Australia, Bluethumb's mission is to make discovering artists and buying art easy. They've onboarded a third of Australia's Indigenous art centres and have recently launched in the US. George, welcome to the checkout. We've had a great conversation around Bluethumb and what you're building there. 300,000 artworks, expanding into the US, and some of the dumbest pivots that you discussed with your team, which was great fun. We're here to learn a little bit more about you. I've got 5 quick questions. Number 1, what's the weirdest thing that you've ever bought online?
A brand new car.
Oh.
I bought a Tesla online without test driving it or anything. It blew my mind because when we launched Bluethumb in 2012, there was a lot of scoffing at no one will ever buy art unseen or spend real money on art online. You know, it just won't happen. And that was pretty much most of the people, their consensus was no one's going to spend more than a few $100s. But we I think we can get there. And, Zappos was selling shoes. And so it's come all the way along. We sold a piece for almost $100,000 last year. Again, sight unseen. And so, the biggest extravagance of my shopping life ever was buying a Tesla. But, just buying this thing, click, buy, it blew my mind. It's crazy. I love that we're there.
Even little things like no haggling, because I can imagine even that's a thing for the art world about being transparent on price up front. You know what you're in for. There's not a haggle. There's not a game. Is what it is.
Correct, yeah.
On that $100,000 piece of art, when you sold that, did you get involved in any way to make sure that it was shipped securely? Like, how does that all work? Because that's a whole different ballgame, right?
It is, yes. No, we did. We made sure it was properly crated and have a couple of curators who immediately jump on the phone to make sure everything works at that size. But, it just came through online.
It's amazing. Do you reckon you'll ever get a 7-figure sale?
We don't have any 7-figure art yet. I think we will.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
We'll see. All right. Number 2, who is your favorite retailer?
Apple. I love Apple. I was inspired by them to start working in technology, and kind of the smartphone has given 3/4 of the world have access to the internet now because they have a smartphone, and Apple really kind of gave that to the world. And so, I just love them as a brand, and I do think their actual e-commerce experience is pretty mid, to be honest. But Apple.
Yeah, nice. Just a low benchmark there to live up to. Number 3, which e-commerce practice do you wish was history?
SEO-driven content writing. Good content is amazing. A really good blog post, or it can change your life, or a videos that's super funny or whatever. They connect so well, but the internet's amazing for that. But SEO-driven content writing just fills the internet with kind of average, mediocre nothingness. And I want it to go away, and I'm hoping LLM search will make it go away soon. Yes. Who knows?
As an art marketplace, I can imagine you have a lot of artists who aren't, digital natives. When they're uploading art, do you have to give them tips on things like searchability to make sure that they're describing their artwork or titling their artwork in a way that users can easily find it?
Yeah. And we also auto tag, and we use actually an AI API to kind of help auto generate the description for them. And we do as much friction removal as we can. And we keep doing that, keep improving that. But yes, why would I put a tag on this artwork? Most of them don't know that. And so we have to kind of do it for them and explain why it's important.
Yeah, great. All right. Number 4, can you recommend a book or a podcast that our listeners should immediately get into?
Yeah. Okay. So I really like reading biographies, and there's actually a couple here. So I'm going to cheat. I've got a couple that I've loved and reread.
Yeah.
Number 1 was Shoe Dog by Phil Knight.
Great.
You're building a company, looking backwards seems inevitable. And at the time, everything's fragile and crazy, and who knows what will happen. And that's just a perfect story about that brand. The second is like Founders at Work by Jessica Livingston. It's sort of exactly the same. It just shows these meandering kind of failure-driven paths that these really epically successful founders took. All these failures along the way. It's super interesting. Just a bunch of interviews with founders.
Cool.
I love Steve Jobs by Walter Isaacson, Apple. I love Snowball by Warren Buffett. Not by Warren Buffett, about Warren Buffett. I think it's Alice Schroeder, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
That helped me with investing. And the last one is one I'm reading right now, which is called The First Tycoon, about Cornelius Vanderbilt.
Who's that?
It's mind-blowing. This guy, companies were invented while he's starting. A limited liability company wasn't a thing, and then it was. And is this better than a monopoly? And democracy better? All these things were sort of concepts that were being battered around. You realize how much infrastructure and how much stuff we already have to build stuff now versus these guys back in the day. So, yeah, and also it's this story of kind of USA exceptionalism, this sort of the invention of the steam engine was like the internet now. It opened up the world, and it's just a great story of his grit and his ability to turn a steam engine into kind of the richest man in the world and lay the pipes for America to be the dominant thing it is now.
It's amazing. Great recommendations. Thank you. With your recent expansion into the US, have you noticed significant differences in the way business is done in the US versus Australia?
Yeah, more trusting, less kind of, I don't know if this is the right stat, but I read that it takes 11 brand mentions for an Australian to trust a new brand and 4 for an American. And so it's true. E-commerce is sort of easier in a way.
Yeah.
More competitive,
but yeah, it's further down the track.
Yeah.
All right, George, last one I've got for you. Finish this sentence. The future of retail is?
Personalized. I just think AIs radically change e-commerce. And I don't know how, but I just think it's going to become less mass, less bulk, and more tailored through AI. But yeah, who knows? I don't want to make too many predictions. It's just changing so much. It's kind of an exciting time.
But it sounds like you're already incorporating AI and personalization in the platform. So a lot of the times we'll be experiencing AI or personalization without even knowing we're experiencing it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And we have, as users on YouTube, the AI-driven feed just changed everything. And all those small things happen in the background anyway. So it's just going to keep happening. It's great.
Great stuff. And George, we didn't do it on the 4th question, recommending a book or a podcast. Of course, we can't go without recommending your own podcast. Give it a plug.
100%. Yeah, the greatest art podcast you'll ever listen to is called The Art in My Home. It's our new Bluethumb podcast. Check it out.
Love it. George, thank you for joining us on the checkout.
Thank you very much, Nathan.
To hear more from George, jump back into episode 388, where George shares the life-changing impact the marketplace has had on individual artists. He shares the tech venture that Bluethumb made possible and how they've almost quadrupled their average order value since launching. Thanks for listening, and until next time, keep adding to cart.